What is up? Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone watching this video right now. I hope you're having a good day. Now, last time I did a setup tour video, I was up in my bedroom where I used to stream day to day or full time on Twitch, and a lot's changed since then. I'm now actually like a full-time freelance videographer, and this is what I like to call my office/studio, where I, day to day film, edit, do everything video related. And yeah, a lot's changed. Obviously, I have moved room entirely. This is an entirely new room. And over the past few months, this room was actually being built completely from like a garage. So this actually used to be the garage of my house. Behind me where that Dina Bean logo is actually the stairs. Like this was a garage. It's been quite a transformation and I'm extremely happy with it. And I'm excited to finally show you guys what we've created here and where I work now. Like this is now officially my new setup. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my office/studio. I hope you enjoy. So to kick off this setup tour, we're diving straight into what I like to call the movies, games, and client review area. The reason why I call it this is because this is pretty much my couch, TV, and game consoles where I pretty much just watch movies, Netflix, whatever it is, and I'll play on my Xbox One. Or if I have clients come over, they will sit on this sofa and they can watch their project in full 4K with the surround sound system and get a proper feel for what I want them to see when they review their projects. To dive into what this area consists of, we have a 50-inch 4K TV from LG. Below that is an LG soundbar. I thought I'd get both of the products to be the exact same brand because I thought they'd have like the best sort of compatibility. I didn't want to have to faff about with turning one on and then the other. I wanted them all just to turn on at once. And having an LG TV link up with an LG soundbar sort of just made it very easy and simplistic. So when I turn on my TV, the soundbar is already there, already working, and the volume buttons on my TV control the soundbar as well. On the left-hand side of the soundbar, I have some pop vinyls. These are the only pop vinyls I own. I haven't got the biggest collection around, but they're some of my favorite characters from various movies and games. And on the far right of the soundbar, I just have like a little metal statue, which my mum reckons is me. All of this is sitting on a floating TV unit, which I got from IKEA. Inside the TV unit on the far left, we have all of my favorite movies and games that I have the hard copy of. They're not my favorite movies and games of all time. However, these are the only games and movies that I have hard copies of, so they've got themselves a nice comfortable seat within my TV unit. To the right of that, we have an Xbox One S. When I was building this room, I didn't own a console at the time because I've never really been massive into my console gaming, but I felt that this room needed a console and it was the one thing that would be the last piece of the puzzle. So I picked up an Xbox One S because at the time, that was the one with the best offer, and I've come from an Xbox background in terms of consoles, so it kind of just seemed like the perfect fit for me. To the far right of this, I have my Ryzen Threadripper box. This just kind of looks cool and it's really the only thing I could think that would actually fit and look kind of cool within the TV unit, so I guess you could call it a placeholder for now. The TV unit itself has LEDs fit to it. This is just a regular LED strip. I've got it usually most of the time set on red because red is quite a prominent color in this room. On the other side of this power room, we have my sofa. There's nothing too special to say about this. It is a sofa. I've got some pillows on it, one that's a Hearthstone. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of Blizzard games, and this just kind of seemed quite fitting for the setup. And on the other side, I just got a red pillow. Either side of the sofa, on the left-hand side, I've got two little cube boxes. Inside of those, I keep my shoes and stuff, so nothing fancy there. But on top of that, I have a Mafia-free turntable, which, if I'm honest, looks incredible. Above that is my guitar, which many of you may know I've owned for over 10 years. I had lessons, and it didn't really tickle my fancy. No offense to those of you out there that play guitar or any musical instrument. It just wasn't my thing, but I've kept it over the years, and you know what? It's red, and it also kind of makes the room look pretty cool, so it's ended up being a bit of the furniture. On the other side of the sofa, I have a set of tables which have just some random things, usually my remote controls, my drinks, whatever the hell I've got at the time. That about wraps it up for this part of the room. Next bit I'm going to talk about is actually the walls of the room. So behind me on the sofa side of the room, I have two of my favorite films of all time. These posters will probably change over the course of the year because whenever I find a film that I really like and I buy a poster for, they will definitely be swapping out, and I'll just change them depending on whatever I'm feeling at that point in time. Currently, it is Baby Driver and Legend. I do think these films are proper good. Now on the other side of the room above the TV, I have a poster of the map of Azeroth, which is from the game World of Warcraft. Around the entire room on the walls there are speakers mounted. I have a 5.1 surround sound system, so we have one speaker on my desk, 2 either side of the desk and 2 right at the back of the room. I'm now going to move on to probably what is the main reason why you're watching this video, and that is the desk slash editing setup slash gaming setup, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is where I work day to day and spend all of my time editing, doing emails, gaming, whatever I'm doing. This is where I spend most of my time, and I'm pretty proud of what I've got here. First thing that hits you in the face when you see this setup is the fact that all 3 of the monitors are floating. These are mounted on a triple monitor mount. Each monitor is made by AOC. They are 1080p IPS monitors, so they've got really nice color space, and they do pretty well for me as a videographer when it comes to color grading and color correcting. I would like to upgrade in the future to perhaps 3 4K monitors or 1440p monitors. I'm not quite decided yet, but I definitely do want to upgrade in the future, especially to get some monitors with even better color and just overall like a nicer image to work with. The desk itself is actually from IKEA, as with many things in this room. The IKEA desk was one of the only desks that I could find at its price point that was wide enough to sort of sit in this room and look quite good and not have any overhang from the monitors. On the desk I have my mouse and keyboard setup, which are both Razer products. One of them is the Razer Blackwidow Ultimate. This is not the Chroma edition sadly, but it is still basically the same keyboard just without the crazy coloured LED lights, and it does me well for my day-to-day use. To the right of that is the Razer Naga, which again isn't Chroma. I would like to upgrade in the future though to the Chromas of both of those things, and also the wireless Naga as well. Underneath the mouse is the Razer Firefly, which is the only Chroma product I own. I really like this mouse mat. It does look cool and it does accent the desk quite nicely. I've also got the controller for the surround sound audio system, which is primarily plugged into my computer to give me a proper surround sound setup for when I'm editing videos, so I can really get immersed and hear the audio how I want to hear it, and just make sure that everything sounds really crisp, especially when you turn it up to full volume. Under the desk is the subwoofer for the sound system. It's actually really small considering the amount of power it emits. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. The speaker system in this room is the Logitech Z906 system, which in my opinion is one of the best bang for your buck systems. I got it on a Black Friday sale and it was literally like half price, and I couldn't go wrong with buying it. It's completely transformed this room in terms of sound. Whether you're editing videos or you've got your mates around and you just want some tunes on, if you get it all surrounded, it just sounds incredible. Last but not least, so the desk setup is my computer. I'm only going to brush over the specs of the computer. If you want a more detailed description, please be sure to check out my website, link down below, where I'll have all of that listed. Along with every other item I've mentioned in this video, they will be linked down in the description below and in more detail on my website, which is linked below as well. So my computer itself, it has a AMD Ryzen Threadripper 1950X, 32 gigabytes of RAM, a GTX 1080, and over 20 terabytes because we videographers use up a ton of data. This PC was built for me by PC Specialist and I love it to death. It's got all the RGB lighting, so it looks really pretty, and it's in one of my favorite cases of all time, which is the Corsair Obsidian 750D. It does look nice, and I'm very proud to own such a beast of a machine. I don't want you guys to just think that I only use it for my work. Obviously, this is where I live as well. This office is situated within my house, and I do have non-working hours in this room as well. Many of you know I used to be a full-time Twitch streamer. Gaming was actually my job, so I still do play games every now and then, especially racing sims. And man, oh man, have I spent so much time on racing sims. It's just a wicked experience, especially with the surround sound. You just can't go wrong. For on the go, I've also got the Dell Xps 15, which I personally think is one of the best laptops out there right now. The battery life, the screen, the power it has, it's just astonishing. And last but not least is my chair. This chair is a little bit different to most setups, to be honest. A lot of people will go for like a DX Racer or a GTO Mega, you know, the sort of bucket seat sort of style chair. I've decided I wanted to go for a Chesterfield style chair. I also think that it kind of gave the room a bit more of a professional feel than a DX Racer or a GTO Mega. Not like they're bad chairs, like I do love those chairs, but I feel like they are suited to the more gaming setup than an office, and I think that this just looked perfect for this room. Finally, moving on to the last part of this room, which is my shelves at the back. It's probably the most boring part of this video, but it is quite an important part of this room for me, and especially my job. This is where I store all of my equipment, whether it be cameras, lenses, lights, microphones, whatever it is, this is where I store them. And on the bottom shelf as well, I have a Google Home.
Hi, what can I do for you?
A little NAS where I store my backups, a switch which links up all of the wired devices in this room, and a Philips Hue controller, which leads me on to my final part of this room, which is the lighting setup. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into this for this video because I'm going to save it for another video, but essentially I've got a Philips Hue system all around this room, and I've got various other lights as well. That pretty much wraps it up for my office/studio tour. If you liked the video, then please Give it a thumbs up. If you are new, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as well. If you want to see more content like this, then drop a comment below, show some love. Once again, if you want any links to any of the things that I've spoken about in this video, then they will be down in the description. And a lot of the tech specs as well will be on my website, which is linked down below in the description as well. And without further ado, guys, I hope you have enjoyed and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.